Good afternoon, enthusiasts, and welcome to the Lost Island theme park construction tour and update, voted by you guys. This video was the winner of last week's poll, and if you did not get a chance to vote in that poll, make sure you're subscribed. That way, any future polls will show up right in your mobile activity feed. On April 10th, I had the wonderful opportunity to participate in a full construction tour of this park, and I gotta say, I am very impressed with this park so far. A while back, I posted a video basically talking about how excited I was for this park, and after seeing it in person and seeing how far it's come along, I am even more excited to visit this park as soon as it opens to the public. So in this video, I'm going to share the information I got from this tour and also give an update of the current state of this park. After you pass the main entrance, you have the choice of either going left or right on the pathways, and in this particular tour, we went to the right, which leads us to the Tamariki Spirit Realm. This area of the park is where all the kids' rides can be found. You will find the park's smallest roller coaster in this area. It is an SPF Visa wacky worm called Lamoko. Besides that, literally the rest of the rides in this area are made by Zamperla. It's kind of nuts, and I'm not going to talk about them all in this video, but let's just say that all the rides in this part of the park you can basically find at any other kids section at any other park. There is a playground structure which looks kind of fun for the kids, and overall, this area looks great. It's very bright and colorful, which is perfect for a kids area. Continuing further right brings us to the Udara Air Kingdom section of the park, and this is where the tall rides are going to be located. Let's first talk about the Vekoma SLC, which is the tallest roller coaster in this park, and it has quite the name. Nopuko Air Coaster. This particular SLC was relocated from a park in South Africa, which is quite interesting. And this one is one of the very few SLCs that features the extra helix in the layout. So could this be the world's best SLC? Well, maybe. I of course have to ride it to see how rough it is, but don't worry about headbanging. This roller coaster features the new gen Vekoma vest restraints, which is greatly appreciated. During the tour, we were able to go to the ride station and even sit down in the trains. Both trains are mostly put together and on the track, but the park has not been able to test this roller coaster yet. I don't quite remember exactly the reason, but I think I recall this roller coaster had a chain lift issue, which hopefully that can be fixed and this roller coaster can open as soon as possible. Right next door to the SLC is the park's SNS Space Shot Tower. It's called Skyborne, and it was relocated from Nevada, and it is the tallest ride in this park, and just looking at the location of this ride, I'm willing to bet it's going to give some amazing views of the park in the area around it. Just across the pathway from Skyborne, you can find Mura Aviators, which is a Gerstlauer Skyfly. Now, I've actually been on one of these rides before at the Mall of America, and I'm just going to say these are some of my all-time favorite flat rides. There's also a Zamperla mini family swinger called Dream Spinner in this area, and overall, this area also looks very good. Every single ride has a matching purple, blue, and white color scheme, which looks nice, and the pathways are going to be lined with these cloud-looking scenery things, which I think is a nice touch. Moving on, we come to the Iowa Water Nomads section of the park. This area is home to Sea Swell, which is your typical swinging pirate ship ride. Nika's Gift is the park's carousel. There's a teacups ride called Wakani Whirl, and there's a Music Express ride called Zulawa Wave. And who can forget Iki Iki Escape, which is a flying carousel ride that looks like a big octopus. Perhaps the most complex ride of this section of the park is the Awati Water Battle Ride, which is an interlinked splash battle. From what I saw, the construction of this ride seems to be coming along very nicely. But the tallest ride in this area of the park is also the park's centerpiece. Alzanu's Eye is the name, and it's the park's Ferris wheel. And what's interesting about this one is that the support structure is very thick and strong. This is because it was relocated from South Korea, and in that country, this ride had to withstand typhoon-level winds and other storms of the sorts. This is good news because Lost Island theme park is almost entirely surrounded by cornfields, and when I was there during the tour, it was super windy. But don't worry, this ride is not going anywhere anytime soon. There is also going to be a restaurant in this section of the park, which is going to serve your typical theme park food. And if you're asking, no, I don't think there's going to be any fast food franchising at this park. There's also going to be a bar very close to the lake with a sandcastle sculpture as a decoration piece, and by the Ferris wheel, there's going to be midway games and maybe even some gift shops. The next area of the park is going to be the Yuta Earth Tribe, and this one is only home to 3 rides. Bumper cars, which I don't think have a name yet, but there's also Yuta Falls, which is an interlinked super flume, and you may have heard about this ride in the past, because about a month or 2 ago, this ride structure actually caught on fire, damaging the ride, and when I was there, it still looked very damaged, and apparently the park has not been able to even touch this ride due to some complications with the insurance company. So hopefully the park can work those problems out and they can get back to fixing this thing, but don't expect this to open with the park. There's also going to be a restaurant in this section of the park, and this one definitely looks more complete in comparison to the other restaurant on the other side of the park. One interesting fact is that the beautiful looking tables in this restaurant were actually made in-house by the park themselves. And of course, possibly the most anticipated roller coaster here, the Intamin Accelerator Coaster. This used to be Kanonen and it operated in Sweden, but now it resides in Iowa and is named Montugani. I love Intamin launch coasters, and this one looks incredible. Sure, it may be short, but it looks like it has some pretty good airtime on the top hat and the other airtime hills around the layout. There's also a vertical loop, there's some really sharp turns and some rapid fire transitions, and what appears to be an inline twist before ending the ride. This roller coaster looks to be possibly the most intense in the park. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take a closer look at the station because, well, it definitely was not finished and the trains were still in the shop. However, I did get some great photos because the pathway actually goes underneath this ride, so there is some amazing photo opportunities for you. The last section of this park is the Mura Fire Clan, and you can find a total of 4 rides in this area. This includes Mura Fury, which is a Moser's Ride Sidewinder, and I have yet to ride one of these rides, so I look forward to potentially riding my first at this park. Shaman's Curse is a Zamperla disco that's very similar to Northern Lights at Valley Fair, but this one has a different ride car. Ryokava is a top spin ride, which is always nice to see because finding these types of rides at other parks is not easy. Alright, now we should address the elephant in the room. This huge volcano sculpture, and it's basically the main scenery element of this area. It's also interactive. Around the volcano, there are some buttons, and each button triggers a different reaction and response on the volcano. The park's owners did say that if you and your group hit all of the buttons all at once together, something special will happen. The final ride in this area is actually within the volcano. It's called Volcano Quest for the Golden Idol, and it's a Sally Corporation dark ride. I was actually lucky enough to go inside and have a look at the station, the ride vehicles, and some of the scenery elements, but I was told not to take any pictures or videos because the park's owners want to keep this a surprise, so I'm not going to give any details of what I saw, but I'm just going to say that it is definitely worth the price of admission. I only saw a little bit, but it looked fantastic. Leaving this section of the park brings you back to the front entrance, ending this tour. Overall, this park looks very promising, and I cannot wait until it opens to the public. I want to get there as soon as possible. And of course, that begs the question, when will this park open? Well, the park's owners said that they were targeting an early June opening, but there is no set date yet, so that could very well change in the future. It all depends on how the park is coming in terms of construction, but that is the estimated time frame. Some other questions that were asked include, will there be a season pass? And the park's owner said not this year, maybe next year or maybe 2-3 years down the road, but right now they're trying to focus on just getting this park open and ready for the public. For ticket prices, I don't remember exactly what they said, but I think it was within the $40 to $50 range in terms of price. When asked the question, will there be a fast pass system, the park's owners simply said, not this year. The park's owners also said that they're still understaffed this year, so if you live in Waterloo or Cedar Falls, Iowa, consider this as a great summer job. One other question was, are there any plans for future expansion? The park's owners replied, yes, but all our focus right now is going into opening this current park, which is understandable. And I'll leave it at that. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, then do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you have any questions about the park or just this video, be sure to comment down below and I'll try my best to answer all the comments. Also, if you're brand new around here, make sure to subscribe. That would really help out a lot and I would really appreciate it. But with that, take it easy and I'll see you next time on North Star Coasters.